Jakarta-Bandung fast train project suffers cost deficiency as government plans to take loan from China. Hello, good evening viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of informations from business, economic, and capital market sector. And as the pandemic is still going on, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. So please stay safe by taking some simple precautions such as physical distancing, wearing mask, avoiding crowd, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Lantai, and this is Market Headline. The Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises said that the Jakarta-Bandung fast train project would suffer cost deficiency at the beginning of its operation, and therefore government plans to take loan from China. Government predicts that Jakarta-Bandung fast train project would suffer cost deficiency. By that reason, the government is negotiating with China to get loan assistance at the beginning of operations. The Deputy Minister, Kartika Wiroatmojo, stated that a loan could be obtained from China Development Bank with guarantees from Indonesian Railway Company. Apart from cost deficiency, the project also has a potential experience construction cost overrun of up to $1.4 billion up to $1.9 billion. And therefore, the government is negotiating with China to overcome the problem.
Nah, saat ini kita sedang melakukan diskusi mengenai cost overrun juga. Ini saya rasa bukan untuk tahun ini untuk tahun depan. Dan terakhir kita juga sedang melakukan diskusi mengenai cash deficit dengan pihak China untuk kelangsungan usaha dalam konteks operational cash flow negatif yang akan terjadi di awal-awal operasi. Ini sedang kita skemakan dengan pembiayaan dari bank, dalam hal ini CDB. Sementara untuk cost overrun kita sedang diskusikan ini dengan dua-dua, nanti kita akan lanjutkan dalam tahap berikutnya.
He added that the cost overrun was due to delays in land acquisitions and to optimistic planning at the beginning. Jakarta, Adi Firmansyah, IDX Channel. Been a week, emergency COVID-19 restriction on action, but the COVID-19 trend keeps increasing. Even COVID-19 task force stated that some provinces recorded significant increase in trend with a low recovery rate. COVID-19 task force recorded bad progress of COVID-19 trend in Indonesia. The spokesperson, Wicky Adrian, stated that 34 provinces in Indonesia experienced an increase in active cases. 9 provinces experienced higher percentage of death rate, while 29 provinces has a lower recovery rate.
Dari 34 provinsi, sayangnya sebanyak 31 provinsi yang mengalami kenaikan persen kasus aktif, 9 provinsi mengalami kenaikan persen kematian, dan 29 provinsi mengalami penurunan persen kesembuhan.
However, the spokesperson also conveyed some good news regarding less mobility.
Kabar baik lainnya adalah terlihat penurunan drastis pada mobilitas penduduk di Jabodetabek pasca penerapan PPKM darurat. Jika dilihat detailnya pada Google Mobility Report, maka penurunan paling tinggi terjadi pada mobilitas ke tempat kerja, tempat umum, dan stasiun. Kami mengapresiasi seluruh masyarakat yang telah melakukan langkah preventif untuk membantu menurunkan penularan COVID-19.
Wicky appreciates law enforcement officers to ensure that implementations of population's mobility restrictions can run well. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu, IDX Channel. Bank Indonesia increased the maximum cash withdrawals at ATM machine that use chip technology. Executive Director and Head of Bank Indonesia Communications Department, Erwin Haryono, said that this provision will come to effect from July 12 to September 30, 2021. This is done in order to support government policies related to emergency COVID-19 restriction. There are details about the new policy. Nominally, Central Bank increased the maximum withdrawal funds from 15 million rupiah to 20 million rupiah for one account a day, and it is only for ATM cards with chip technology.
Berlaku sejak tanggal 12 Juli 2021 sampai dengan 30 September 2021. Hal ini dilakukan dalam rangka mendukung kebijakan pemerintah terkait pemberlakuan pembatasan kegiatan masyarakat atau PPKM darurat guna menekan laju COVID-19. Adapun, detail penyesuaian batas penarikan tunai tersebut adalah sebagai berikut. 1. Menaikkan batas maksimal nilai nominal dana untuk penarikan tunai melalui mesin ATM dari semula 15 juta rupiah menjadi 20 juta rupiah tiap rekening dalam satu hari untuk kartu ATM yang menggunakan teknologi chip.
The central bank has urged banks to publish the public list of ATM locations that can make cash withdrawals with a new limit. Jakarta, Rahayu Pakmo, IDX.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Hai Sobat Investor, kalian ingin tetap bisa menabung meskipun keadaan keuangan kalian sedang sulit? Dengerin tips berikut ini ya. Kita masuk ke tips yang pertama ya. Nah, yang pertama, kalian harus memenuhi semua kebutuhan rutin kalian terlebih dahulu nih. Barulah setelah itu kalian bisa mengalokasikan pendapatan kalian untuk memenuhi kebutuhan pelengkap lainnya. Kita masuk ke tips yang kedua ya Sobat Investor. Jadi penting sekali bagi kalian untuk menutup hutang sesuai dengan kemampuan kalian. Selain itu, kalian juga perlu menentukan utang mana yang harus kalian dahulukan untuk dilunasi. Selain itu, penting juga untuk selalu menyesuaikan dengan uang tunai yang kalian miliki. Tips selanjutnya yaitu tips yang ketiga. Jadi kalian penting sekali untuk menekan biaya bulanan nih Sobat Investor. Jadi kalian juga memang harus memangkas kebutuhan yang memang sifatnya hanya pelengkap saja. Dan penting sekali bagi kalian untuk mempertahankan biaya bulanan yang sifatnya memang untuk kebutuhan utama kalian. Tips yang keempat terkait dengan pengelolaan aset. Jadi jika ternyata penghasilan yang kalian miliki ini tidak bisa menutup kebutuhan kalian, maka kalian bisa mempertimbangkan untuk menjual aset yang kalian miliki. Tips yang kelima, jangan lupa sisihkan sekitar 10% dari penghasilan kalian untuk ditabung di tiap bulannya. Dan saat keadaan keuangan kalian sedang sulit, tidak menjadi alasan untuk gagal mencapai impian. Jangan lupa ya, harus selalu rajin dan juga disiplin dalam menabung Sobat Investor. Welcome back to Market Headline. South Korea launched a plan to develop a sixth generations of internet technology. And under the plan, South Korea will invest around 220 billion won to compete with China and the United States in developing 6G networks.
South Korea unveiled a 5-year plan for the development of the sixth generation or 6G internet technology. Under the plan, the country will invest 220 billion won to compete with China and the United States in developing 6G networks. Citing Gizmo China, the investment funds will be used by South Korea to enhance research. In addition, investment funds will be also approved for 6G development corporations projects with the U.S. Based on the 5-year plans, South Korea target to be able to commercialize 6G by 2028. The 6G technology can only be commercialized when high-performance networks on land and satellite communications are combined. South Korea's Minister of Science and Information Technology Im Hye-seok said that The next generation's mobile network is the basis of digital innovation. IDX Channel report.
Although the implementations of 5G in Indonesia is still awaited, in fact, a number of countries have started to put their efforts to bring 6G. So what is the 6G network like, and how is the current conditions of the internet network in Indonesia? Let's take a look into these following infographics. First thing first, we can see about 6G network is all about. First of all, when we talk about internet speed, it's 100 times faster than 5G, and the download capability reaching 1 terabyte per second with a spectrum band around 300 up to 3000 gigahertz, and also for the latency it's only 0.1 millisecond. How about the technology utilizations? It uses hologram, augmented reality, and the virtual reality. And of course, the presence of 6G and the latest thing to take a look for what, although at the same time, 5G network is also not fully used. However, over a 10-year cycle, 6G is expected to be fully available by 2030 or even sooner. Various efforts continue to be made and even tend to compete to bring 6G, which are carried out by several countries where the main players are still dominated by China and the United States. The 6G development process, thousands of patents have been registered. Who already has the 6G patent? That's the question, so let's check it out in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see the country that has 6G technology patents. First of all, now China with 13,449 patents of 6G technology, and the second place goes to United States by 6,926 6G technology patents. Well, China started to research on 6G network in 2018 at the same time as the United States, and China has indeed set the development of 6G networks as priority in the 5-year plan. And the Chinese government say that the 6G technology will be used for smart city constructions, natural disaster prevention, and environmental protection. There is even a possibility that a network will be also used in the military and intelligence field. Meanwhile, in last April, the United States and Japan announced plans for a cooperation with a cost of $4.5 billion for the research, development, and testing of the 6G. And talking about the internet network in here, how is the condition so far in Indonesia? Let's check the data on the next graphic. Here it is. We can see Indonesian internet networks conditions nowadays. Well, South Korea launched plan to develop the 6th generations of internet technology, while in Indonesia, we are in the 5G trial stage. And 8 to 10 years of estimated that 5G network distributions, and still focusing on expanding 4G coverage. But then more than 12,000 villages are not yet connected to the internet. As the associations of all Indonesian telecommunication providers revealed that it will not be long before there will be more and more operators following the commercializations of 5G services. To date, only 2 providers have rolled out 5G networks, namely Telkomsel and Indosat Ooredoo. Then Smartfren is also known to intensively speeding up the efforts to have 5G experience and services. With various preparations of 5G, are the internet services provided by providers in Indonesia is optimal? Let's check it out in the next graphic. Here it is. We can see the 4G operator internet speed in Indonesia, and the data taken as of June 2021. Telkomsel by 13.4 for the upload, while for the download is 6.8. In the second stage, we got XL Axiata. In the third place, we got Indosat Ooredoo. In the fourth place, we got Tri. And the last one, we got Smartfren. And the internet network speed is very, very important, especially with the increasing number of people accessing the internet. So internet users in Indonesia in early 2021 reached around 202 5.6 million people, increased by 15.5% or 27 million people when compared to January 2020. In addition, the midst of pandemic, the internet plays a very important role, ranging from teaching, learning activities, and also fulfilling community demands. And yes, viewers, I hope that the development of Indonesian internet network will continue to be carried out, which in the end is expected to have a multiplier positive effect on the various social and economic aspects in Indonesia. Stay tuned to market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangivera Tjong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Session Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Pemerintah semakin percaya diri mampu merealisasikan ekspektasi pertumbuhan yang tinggi.
Kita lihat dari PMI market, kita sudah mencapai yang tertinggi.
Kementerian Keuangan memastikan tidak akan mengenakan PPN pada barang kebutuhan pokok.
Berbeda ketika sembako ini sifatnya premium.
Pemerintah kembali memutuskan untuk memperpanjang pemberlakuan pembatasan kegiatan masyarakat atau PPKM skala mikro.
Kita tulus hati, bukan untuk cari duit dari kerja.com, nanti kita cari duitnya dari situs yang lain gitu. Itu cuma untuk bantu masyarakat aja gitu, get better skills biar bisa dapat kerjaan yang mereka inginkan gitu.
Perusahaan digital diprediksi masih menghadapi potensi gulung tikar hingga akhir tahun 2021.
Analisanya mengenai hal ini seperti apa Pak Andito?
Ini haruslah punya perspektif yang ke sana, melihat yang jangka panjang. Nah,
pemerintah Indonesia melalui Kementerian Koordinator Bidang Perekonomian Erlangga Hartarto menyiapkan sejumlah cara untuk meningkatkan peran UMKM di pasar internasional.
Jaga tren ini dan memacu peningkatan ekspor, termasuk mendorong penciptaan eksportir baru dari kalangan pelaku usaha menengah kecil dan mikro.
Pemerintah akan mempercepat realisasi bansos dengan memberikan bansos selama 3 bulan ke depan.
Yes, viewers, let's take a look at Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement. So earlier today, JCI was open at level of 6,046.74. And approaching the closing time in the first session, the index was on the level of 6,041.18. And the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. The index was closed at a level of 6,039.84. In short, JCI went down 0.00%. Next, we're going to see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got infrastructure as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 1.85%. We got transportations and logistics that went up 1.32%. We got cyclic as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 0.97%, and finance that went down 0.67%. Moving on to the top gainers and the top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading sessions. We got BMHAs that went up to 25.00%. We got Telkom Indonesia that went up 4.98% to the level of 8,160 per share. We got Aneka Tambang that went up 1.57% to the level of 2,590 per share. We got MLPL that went up 5.8% to the level of 730 per share. Meantime, for the top losers for today's trading sessions, we got MTech that went down 1.43% to the level of 2,760 rupiah per share. We got BBRI that went down 1.81% to the level of 3,800 rupiah per share. We got Agro that went down 6.94% to the level of 2,010 rupiah per share. And we got BRIS that went down 2.06% to the level of 2,380 rupiah per share. Next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah opened at the level of 14,545. Rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. It was closed at the level of 14,531. In summary, rupiah went up 0.32%. To the global update, Google faces lawsuit in the U.S. over Play Store monopoly. Meanwhile, it is now official that this year's Southeast Asian Games due to take place in Vietnam has been postponed to 2022. More stories on today's International Minute.
Nine million people in Ho Chi Minh City have been ordered to lock down. The commercial hub struggles to contain Vietnam's most serious COVID-19 outbreak so far. Beginning in the earlier hours of Fridays, residents will be mandated to stay at home for 2 weeks after 8,000 cases were recorded in the city during the latest virus wave. Although virus clusters have appeared up and down the country, Ho Chi Minh City has emerged as the epicenter of the new wave. At least 10 cities have suspended their airlinks with Ho Chi Minh. Formerly known as Saigon, panic buying was reported at the 3 major wholesale markets were shut down. Singapore may allow people who are fully vaccinated against COVID-19 to gather in groups of up to 8 people instead of 5, as it considers differentiated measures for those who received the jab under National Vaccinations Program. Such measures may be allowed when Singapore reached an important milestone in its vaccinations program, when 50% of the population has been fully vaccinated. This target is expected to meet around the week of July 26th, adding that the current proportions of people who have been fully vaccinated stands as close as 40%. This year's Southeast Asian Game, due to the take place in Vietnam, has been postponed to 2022. Vietnam's National Olympic Committee will explore new dates for considerations. The postponement was due to the pandemic, with Vietnam proposing to host the Games in April or May next year. Olympics organizers are banning all spectators from the game, and this year after Japan declared a state emergency that's meant to curb the wave of COVID-19 infections. It's the latest setback for the Summer Olympics that have already been delayed for a year and racked up high cost for postponement. The state of emergency will begin Monday and run through August 22nd. Nationwide, Japan has reported around 811,000 coronavirus cases and more than 14,800 deaths, according to the data from the World Health Organization. However, the nation has faced a relatively slow rollout of the vaccines. Only about a quarter of the population has had at least one COVID-19 shot. 36 U.S. states have filed a lawsuit against Google over engaging in monopolistic activities in app distributions and payments on the Play Store. According to the head officials, Google is imposing technological obstacles or inaccurate warnings to scare away users from side-loading apps and prohibiting from preloading competing app stores. According to the lawsuit, over 90% of the Android users in the United States are using the Google Play Store, and no other app store has over 5% of the market. IDX Channel reported.
Good financial performance in the first quarter doesn't stop MNC Studios International's ambitions to boost more revenue in whole 2021. Various strategies are carried out. One of them is developing gaming and e-sport programs, also producing more drama series.
PT MNC Studios International recorded a good financial performance in the first quarter of 2021. Way better compared to the fourth quarter of 2020, the company's net income even rose to 78%. In the incidental public expose of MNC Studios International, the director Titan Hermawan explained, MNC Picture managed to dominate the market share of the best dramas and soap operas in Indonesia, which is as much as 40%. Titan added, as the market leader in the entertainment content industry, the company is currently building movie land in the MNC Lido City Special Economic Zone in Bogor. On a 21-hectare land area, content production will be centered in Movie Land. Movie Land itself will be launched and start operating in mid-2022. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu for IDX Channel.
During first semester this year, Wijaya Karya recorded a new contract of 10.5 trillion rupiah. The realizations grew by 208.82% year-on-year.
In the first semester of 2021, Wijaya Karya managed to book a new contract which increased significantly. Wika recorded a new contract of 10.5 trillion rupiah. This realization grew by 208.82% year-on-year. Wika is targeting new contracts of 40.13 trillion rupiah in 2021. That way, the realizations of new contracts until the first semester of 2021 reflects 26.16% of this year's total targets. According to Wika's corporate secretary Mahendra Wijaya, the compositions of the contract acquisitions came from the infrastructure sector as much as 65%, then followed by supporting industrial contracts as much as 25%, and the rest from EPC and buildings. Meanwhile, for the second semester, the company is still focusing on targeting infrastructure projects. IDX Channel reports.
Step aside from market conditions as coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situations. Here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the news close of market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. As the COVID-19 pandemic is still going on, keep protecting your family by following health protocols. Wearing face masks, keep your distance, and stay away from the crowds. Wash your hands through running water. And also continue to support vaccinations program to accelerate the creations of herd immunity. I'm Clara Wijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Pandemi COVID-19 yang terjadi saat ini sangat berimbas pada penempatan pekerja migran Indonesia.
Pak Wahyu, bagaimana